Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving right into Session 5, which is all about engagement metrics. It's a fascinating look into how modern companies are learning to listen and actually react to their people. So, let's just jump right in. Okay, let's dive into this. Right off the bat, our source material drops this exact quote. Pulse surveys decoded, AI maps sentiment, engagement tracked in real time. Now, I love this because those 13 words, they're basically our complete roadmap for today. It's not just a passing statement, it outlines this entire modern employee metrics ecosystem. We're going on a journey from data collection, right through advanced processing, straight to immediate application. So let's kick things off with our first major theme for Session 5, the engagement metrics era. What we're talking about here is moving way beyond static feedback. I mean, think about it. For decades, companies relied on that dreaded annual employee survey. You know the exact one I'm talking about, right? That massive 100-question ordeal that literally took months to analyze. By the time leadership actually read the results, the data was completely obsolete. But today, it's all about capturing a dynamic, living picture of an organization. We're moving away from that static, outdated photograph to something more like a high-definition, live streaming view of workplace culture.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we enter Phase 1, Pulse Surveys Decoded. So, what actually is a pulse survey? Well, it replaces that infrequent, static feedback with frequent, rhythmic data collection points. And it's a brilliant metaphor, honestly. Just like a human pulse, it's this constant, rhythmic heartbeat that tells you immediately if something is wrong. It acts as the essential indicator of life for modern organizational listening. It's not meant to be this heavy burden on the employee. It's just a quick, frequent check-in that keeps the data fresh and, most importantly, relevant.
Decoding this pulse really means understanding three specific things. First up, frequent rhythms. It's all about consistency and cadence. Second, raw data capture. This is simply about gathering those unfiltered responses without analyzing them just yet. And third, we have to recognize this as the vital first step in the pipeline. Make no mistake, without this raw data engine, the rest of the entire ecosystem just doesn't work.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our next phase, the processing phase, AI maps sentiment. Okay, this concept totally blew my mind. We're talking about using artificial intelligence as a cartographer to process raw survey data into a topographical map of human feelings. Just pause and think about that for a second. What does it actually mean for a machine to map complex human emotion? Well, when you have thousands of data points, text responses, multiple choice answers, even subtle shifts in tone, AI steps in to read between the lines. It categorizes the frustrations, highlights the enthusiasm, and literally draws a map of the organization's emotional state. Because let's be real, raw pulse data versus mapped sentiment are two very different things. On its own, raw pulse data is kind of just isolated numbers and noise. It's spreadsheets and scattered comments. But by applying AI, that simple, rhythmic data transforms into a highly readable, nuanced, emotional landscape. You can instantly see where the morale valleys are deep and where the engagement peaks are really high. AI is the bridge between raw data collection and genuine human understanding. And that brings us right to the culmination of that original quote, real-time tracking unlocked. This is the application phase. So what's the real-time impact here? Why does this matter to us? Well, tracking in real time gives leaders, managers, and HR professionals this absolute superpower of immediate visibility. You literally don't have to wait 6 months to find out a whole department is burning out. With actionable insights and a continuous feedback loop, you can intervene before minor, everyday issues escalate into major crises. It completely transforms leadership from being reactive to being proactively responsive. And this brilliantly illustrates how those original 13 words aren't just a bunch of isolated buzzwords. It's a cohesive, step-by-step flow. Step 1, pulse surveys handle the collection. Step 2, AI map sentiment does the processing. And Step 3, real-time tracking is the application. It's this flawless technological ecosystem that takes a baseline organizational heartbeat and turns it into immediate leadership action.
All right, as we wrap up this explainer, let's distill all of this down into our final takeaway.
So, the crucial point is really this data-to-action pipeline. The big lesson from Session 5 is that engagement is simply no longer an annual event. It's a continuous living loop. Rhythmic data collection meets advanced AI processing to create an immediate, urgent call to action. You collect, you process, you act, and then you repeat. It's a living, breathing system that keeps an organization entirely in sync with its people.
I want to leave you with one final, pretty provocative thought. How fast does your organization adapt to employee sentiment in this real-time paradigm? Seriously, think about it for a second. If your organization is still waiting around for an annual survey to understand how its people feel, you are basically navigating without a map. The technology is already here to listen to the pulse and map the sentiment, right now. So the only question left is, are you ready to act on it? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you next time.